Swamps are among the oddest, strangest, yet most intriguing places in the world. They appear in hundreds of myths, legends, and horror films. But startlingly, the true accounts are far darker, far more terrifying than the fictional stories. Yup, even more bizarre than Alan Moore's Swamp Thing comics, which you really should read, because beings that may genuinely be monsters have emerged from swamps. And this video will reveal them all, so be sure to stay till the end. Number 15. The Lizard Man of Scape Ore Swamp. In the swamps of South Carolina, the legend of the Lizard Man has persisted for decades, but recent reports have reignited the story. Two eyewitnesses claim to see a strange figure near Scape Ore Swamp, the site of the earliest sightings in the late 1980s. Back then, many accounts described a towering lizard-like creature with glowing red eyes that allegedly charged at vehicles. Some local Native American stories tell of similar reptilian beings dating back centuries, hinting that the legend could have deeper roots. The recent sightings were brief, but the descriptions echoed the same unnerving details from the past: scales, inhuman eyes, and a distinctly aggressive presence. Unfortunately, no physical evidence surfaced, leaving the truth uncertain. For the people who saw it, though, there was no doubt. Whether a creature of folklore or something truly alive and terrifying in the swamp, the Lizard Man's story refuses to fade. Number 14. The Loa Loa. The Loa Loa, more commonly called the eye worm, inhabits the tropical swamplands of West Africa. It usually enters the human body via the bite of a deer fly or mango fly. Once inside, it migrates beneath the skin, feeding on tissue fluids. At night, it retreats into the lungs, and occasionally, it traverses the surface of the eye, causing severe discomfort. Removal can be achieved through surgery or anti-parasitic medication, yet the process is far from pleasant. Infected individuals often experience itching, swelling, and a crawling sensation under the skin as the parasite moves. Its visible passage across the eye is one of the most alarming symptoms, creating both pain and distress. While treatable, the infection is a vivid reminder of the hazards present in certain tropical environments. Preventive measures, such as protective clothing and insect repellent, are essential for those traveling in endemic regions. Few parasites leave such a lasting impression, both physically and psychologically, as the Loa Loa. Number 13. Termites of the Sea. Some sea creatures sound like they belong in a horror story, yet they're very real. One such example is the shipworm, a misnamed species that's not a worm at all but a type of clam. These marine pests bore deep into submerged wood, posing serious problems for boats and piers. When wood sits in the water for too long, shipworms can turn it into a fragile shell. Their burrowing ability is so aggressive that they can destroy an entire wooden vessel from the inside out. If you ever notice submerged logs or wooden structures in the water, keeping your distance is wise. Although they typically target timber, there are accounts of them latching onto anything that drifts too close. Shipworms' voracious feeding earned them the unsettling nickname termites of the sea, a title they live up to with ease. If left unchecked, they can erase decades of craftsmanship in a matter of months, leaving behind nothing but hollow remains. Number 12. Macrodella mimicus. Back in 2019, scientists identified Macrodella mimicus, a new species of leech inhabiting the swamps of southern Maryland. Olive green, with 3 jaws lined with 59 teeth, it is well equipped to feed on blood. Despite its menacing appearance, it is more useful than harmful. Historically, leeches were employed in medicine for bloodletting, believed to cure headaches, fevers, and other ailments. Most used then were imported from Europe, leaving native North American species like Macrodella mimicus largely undisturbed. Smithsonian parasitologist Anna Phillips led a 4-year survey across leech habitats in Canada and the United States, wading through algae-coated ponds and marshes to collect specimens. This work revealed the Maryland leech as a distinct species, the first new North American leech described since 1975. While it can cause prolonged bleeding if allowed to feed fully, it is not known to transmit human diseases. Still, improper removal can lead to minor infections, so protective clothing remains advisable when traversing swampy environments. Number 11. Cassius, crocodile. While most crocodiles dwell deep within remote swamps, the largest living specimen in captivity is Cassius. Believed to have hatched around 1903, he was officially measured in 2011 at 5.48 meters, earning recognition as the world's longest crocodile in captivity. When captured in 1984, Cassius was infamous for battling rival crocs over territory and even attacking boat motors, resulting in the loss of parts of his snout and tail. These injuries were not included in his recorded length, meaning he may have once been 15 to 25 centimeters longer. His immense size and advanced age make him a living relic among reptiles. Though removed from the wild, Cassius retains the imposing presence of a top predator. Decades of survival in harsh conditions attest to his resilience and dominance. Sadly, Cassius died on November 3, 2024. But it doesn't mean there are not more bigger crocs in swamps than this. The word is a big place. Number 10. The rat-tailed maggot nature often produces life forms that appear as though they belong in a science fiction film. In a pond in Barbados, a rat-tailed maggot, already strange in its own right, harbored something even more disturbing. Inside it was an unusually large growth, first assumed to be enlarged breathing gills. Yet these protrusions were far bigger than normal, their size making them appear unnatural. Rarely visible outside the maggot's body, they gave the impression of something foreign embedded within. Observers speculated it could be a parasite, clinging inside and feeding from within its host. As the maggot swam, the attached mass moved with it, creating a sight both grotesque and fascinating. There was no definitive explanation, leaving the possibility open to both a rare mutation and an undiscovered parasitic species. The encounter was a reminder that even in familiar environments, nature hides organisms that challenge our understanding, creatures that look and behave like they were born on another world. Number 9. Will-o'-the-wisp. The will-o'-the-wisp is a recurring folktale across multiple cultures, describing a ghostly light appearing at night, often over bogs, swamps, and marshes. It is said to lure travelers away from safe paths, leading them into dangerous terrain. In Irish lore, Drunk Jack tricks the devil twice, once trapping him as a coin beside a crucifix, and later by carving a cross under a tree to keep him from climbing down. Denied entry to both heaven and hell, Jack roams the earth with a coal to light his way, misleading wanderers. In Bangladesh, fishermen's spirits sometimes become lights over marshes, either aiding or dooming boats. Similar lights appear in Japanese, Korean, and Chinese traditions, while South American stories often blame malevolent spirits. Despite geographic variations, the core imagery, a mysterious light in the darkness, remains consistent. The will-o'-the-wisp's universality reflects humanity's shared fascination and caution toward unexplained phenomena encountered in the most treacherous landscapes. Number 8. Levvenia birdie. Though microscopic, Levvenia birdie can inflict dramatic effects on its hosts by transforming them into bright orange zombies. Thankfully, it cannot infect humans, but it targets amphipods, small crustaceans commonly found in swamps. Normally, amphipods use their dull coloration to blend into mud and marsh vegetation, avoiding predators. Once infected, however, the parasite alters its color to vivid orange and manipulates behavior, driving them into open, exposed areas. This tactic increases the likelihood of being eaten by birds, which the parasite requires to complete its life cycle. Research by David Johnson and colleagues in Massachusetts revealed that nutrient pollution, particularly excess nitrogen from agricultural runoff, causes significant population increases. In nitrogen-enriched marsh plots, parasite numbers were 13 times higher than in control areas. While harmless to humans, Levvenia birdie shows how changes at the bottom of the food chain, through environmental shifts, can impact species far above it. This tiny parasite is a striking example of Mother Nature's subtle yet complex manipulations. Number 7. Gustav, a legendary male Nile crocodile from Burundi, has long been rumored to patrol the Rusizi River and northern Lake Tanganyika. Estimated to weigh over 910 kilograms and possibly exceeding 6 meters in length, he is alleged to have killed between 200 and 300 people, though such figures are unverified. Not widely known until the 1990s, Gustav gained fame in the early 2000s through the documentary Capturing the Killer Croc. Scientists constructed a 9-meter steel trap, outfitted it with snares and infrared cameras, and baited it with a goat. However, storms and equipment failures doomed the effort, and Gustav remained free. National Geographic later suggested he could still be growing at over 60 years old. His last confirmed sighting was in 2015, and his absence since has fueled speculation about his fate. Whether alive or dead, Gustav's notoriety endures, embodying the awe and fear inspired by one of nature's most formidable predators in Africa's wild waterways. Number 6. The eel that walks. While exploring the Florida swamps, a crew encountered a creature that defied their expectations. At first, it appeared to be a long, dark eel gliding effortlessly through the water. But then, in a startling shift, it began moving along the ground. This was no ordinary eel. It was an amphiuma, a rare type of salamander known for its elongated body and tiny limbs. Amphiumas are elusive, spending most of their lives hidden and seldom appearing in open view. What made this encounter even more remarkable was the creature's genetic makeup. It possesses around 25 times more DNA than a human. Watching it transition from swimming to a form of walking left the crew stunned. Its movement seemed both alien and oddly graceful, perfectly adapted to two different worlds. Encounters like this show how weird and diverse swamp life can be, revealing species that thrive just out of sight, blending into their shadowy, unpredictable environment. Number 5. 300-pound Arapima. On the last day of a fishing expedition in Guyana, a group of anglers experienced a catch unlike anything they had faced before. Their first pull brought in a modest 5-pound fish, but moments later, the water erupted. Breaking the surface was an enormous Arapima, one of the largest freshwater fish species in the world. As the bait landed perfectly, the massive predator struck with such force it nearly ripped the rod from their hands. The fight began immediately, with the 350-pound fish thrashing, diving, and dragging the line through the water with relentless power. Every attempt to reel it in was met with explosive resistance. The struggle felt endless as the anglers battled the sheer strength of the creature. At last, they managed to bring it to the boat before releasing it back into the river. That moment left them with a lasting memory, a rare encounter with one of the Amazon's most formidable aquatic giants. All right, now, let's move to number 4, Redbbellied Piranhas. Along the Amazon River and its swampy tributaries dwell the formidable red-bellied piranhas. Growing up to 50 centimeters, these fish are armed with razor-sharp, triangular teeth capable of shearing flesh with alarming efficiency. Typically, they feed on smaller prey, worms, crustaceans, and fish, but scarcity can drive them into coordinated assaults on larger animals. During such feeding frenzies, dozens can strip their target to bone in minutes. While their victims are usually capybaras or egrets, humans wading or swimming in certain conditions have also been attacked. The piranha's powerful jaws and rapid bite force make escape difficult once they strike. Despite their fearsome reputation, they are not indiscriminate killers. Most attacks occur in low water seasons when food is limited. Local communities treat them with respect, understanding both their ecological role and their potential danger. Encountering a school in the wild is a visceral reminder that in the Amazon's waters, survival often belongs to the swiftest and most alert. Number 3. Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster, affectionately called Nessie, remains one of the world's most famous cryptids. Reports date back to 565 AD, when the life of St. Columba recorded an account of a man attacked by a mysterious water creature. Sporadic sightings followed until 1933, when multiple reports reignited interest. The following year, surgeon Robert Kenneth Wilson photographed what appeared to be a long-necked animal in the loch, an image later revealed to be a hoax involving a small model. Despite this, sightings continued, including a 1954 sonar reading tracking a large underwater object for 800 meters. Most alleged evidence has been debunked as misidentified animals, logs, or optical illusions. Similar lake monster legends exist worldwide, such as Nahuelito in Argentina's Nahuel Huapi Lake, known in indigenous tales for centuries. Though no scientific proof confirms Nessie's existence, the legend persists, fueled by folklore, tourism, and humanity's fascination with the possibility of hidden giants lurking in deep, dark waters. Number 2. Black flies. In North America, black flies are typically more nuisance than a threat. These tiny, dark insects bite and draw blood, but are not known to transmit disease there. However, in parts of Africa, Mexico, Central America, Brazil, and Yemen, their impact is far more severe. In these regions, black flies can carry parasitic roundworms that cause onchocerciasis, better known as river blindness. The infection can lead to eye lesions, gradual vision loss, and permanent blindness if untreated. Transmission occurs when infected flies bite, releasing larvae into the bloodstream. These larvae migrate through the body, sometimes lodging in the eyes and triggering severe inflammation. Communities in endemic areas often endure widespread suffering, particularly where medical access is limited. Preventing bites with protective clothing and strong repellents is essential in affected regions. Although small black flies in these parts of the world rank among the most dangerous insects to human health, capable of altering lives permanently. Number 1. The Bridgewater Encounter. In a quiet neighborhood in North Dallas, a passerby was walking beneath a bridge when they heard faint rustling from the nearby bushes. Curious, they moved closer to investigate. What they saw was deeply unsettling. A strange humanoid figure stood just under the bridge, staring directly at them. The creature remained perfectly still for several moments, its fixed gaze sending a chill down their spine. Then, without a single sound, it stepped backward into the darkness and vanished entirely. Its identity and origin remain unknown, though many are convinced it was not human. There were no traces left behind, only the eerie memory of its silent retreat. Those who've heard the account often agree. If you ever find yourself in such a situation, keeping your distance may be the only sensible choice. Bridges can conceal more than shadows, and sometimes what hides beneath is far worse than anything you'd expect to meet in the daylight. We really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you very soon.